Assalamu alaikum, how are you guys? Well, it is our third video in the Linux command line. Today we are going to learn how to create directories, how to copy files, how to move files from one directory to another directory, how to rename them, and how to delete them. So, first of all, how to create directories, you can see in this directory we have three files: abc, file 1 and file 1 with capital F. So you can check type of a file using file command. So let's check all of them: file 1 and file 1 with capital F. So these two files are empty actually, and this file is a text file. You can check the text file contents using less command. Less and abc, you can see it is how are you written in this file. So you can quote from the less using q. So let's create a directory inside this working directory. The command for create a directory is mkdir, and then the directory name. So we are going to create a directory like directory 1. So here you can see there is a directory 1, and that is just now created. Let's change into this directory, change the directory into this new created directory. So directory 1, here you can see there is nothing, and we are inside the this new directory. Pwd print out the working directory. So you can create so many directories, like passing their names to the make directory command. So like directory 1, directory 2, directory 3, directory 4. So here you can see the all four directories are created, or you can create the directories recursively, means one directory, and inside that directory many other subdirectories. You can create them same, like make directory, and we are going to create a new direct. Here the directory 1 is created. So let's create a new directory, and we will create subdirectories into that new created directory. So a new, and inside that we will create a new directory, which will be directory 1, and inside that we will create directory 2, and inside that we will create a new subdirectory which would be directory 3. But by default make directory will not create it. You can see there are no this printed out an error. So and it didn't create some directory new. So to do that we have to pass an argument like p. So make directory and give it p an option as an option, and then give it the new directory argument. So we are going to create a new directory, and inside directory 1 inside a new direct subdirectory which would be directory 2, and inside a new subdirectory we will create a new subdirectory which would be the directory 3. So we can pass another argument, another option like dash v. So it will be verbose, like you will see on the screen what is created. You will see a message also from the make directory command. So just press enter. So here you can see it printed out that a new directory created, and then it told us inside that the directory a new subdirectory is created. So let's check. So here you can see, and we are going to change in the directory into the new directory, and here you can see the directory 1 is also there. So let's go to that directory, and here you can see the directory 2 is there. So directory 2. So that's it. Just go to our home directory and we actually where we created inside the directory 1. So you can pass it all of them. No, actually there is nothing. So ls and directory 1. Here you can see these all are empty directories. So you can create directories this way. So now we are going to copy some files. So here you can see this there is a text file which is abc. We want to copy this file into this directory 1. So we can use cp command, and cp give it the argument abc and the file name which we want to copy, and then the destination where we want this file to be copied. So we are going to copy this abc file from this working directory to directory 1. So just check the directory 1. Now here you can see the directory 1. Here you can see the abc file is there. So this way you can copy it. So the cp command actually takes some options like a option, or it will the a option, it copies the files and directories, all of their attributes including ownership and permissions. Normally copies take one of the default attribute of the user performing the copy. So we will talk more about the permissions later. It also gets some option like I, which is interactive. So if that file is already there, so it prompts us, do you want to overwrite the file? So here we can see an abc file is there. So we are going to again we are going to copy the abc file which is present in inside our home directory to this working directory. So we can see we are inside the directory 1 inside our home directory, but we want to copy the abc file which is present in our in our home directory. So we can use the relative path name. As you know that relative path names start from the working directory, so we are going to use relative path. So the abc file is there, we are going to copy it here. So we can use the single dot, which is notation for the current working directory. If you have watched my videos, you have got an idea what I am going to do, but if you don't know what I am going to do here, so you must watch those absolute and relative path name videos so you have an idea how things work. So just watch the videos in a sequence so you have a better idea of everything. So abc is there, and we are going to create, actually let me show you. Actually there was something, it was actually an empty file or something like that. Echo, no cp, and inside our, it was like ls, and yeah, that's there. So cp and abc. Let's copy here. These are same file, so let's remove. Let me check which cp. Yeah, cp doesn't have this I option. Actually, if you use the I option, it will prompt you. Else, by default, it doesn't prompt the user to overwrite. So CP and ABC, and then here. So it doesn't prompt. So if you want to get a prompt, get a warning if something is if you want to get alert like you don't want to overwrite the existing file, so you can use the cp and I option. So let's copy the abc, and then yeah, now it will prompt you. It will ask you, do you want to override this file, which I am not going to do. So just press n and it will not copy that file. So beside that, it also has an or option which is recursive. It actually copies the directories and their contents. So let me show you some example. So ls directory one, there is no file there. So I am going to create copy the directory 1 to directory 2 and copy it inside the directory 2. So here you can see it is giving me some error like this one is a directory, so I have to use or option for the directories. So cp-r directory 1 and then directory 2. So here you can see cd. Let's go to directory 2. Here you can see directory 1 is there, it is copied now. So there is another option which is like update or u. So when copying files from one directory to another, only copy files that either don't exist or are newer than the existing corresponding files in the destination directory. This is useful when copying large number of files as it skips files that don't need to be copied. And there is also a verbose option like cp and v, which display informative messages as the copy is performed. So and now we are going to learn how to move files or how to rename files. So actually the mv command is used both for moving and renaming depending on how it is used. In either case, the original file name no longer exists after the operation. MB is used in much the same way as CP. So let's go to the home directory, and here you can see there are some files. So we are going to rename the ABC file to DEF. So that is the command mv, and then the file you want to move or you want to rename, and then the destination name or the file. So here you can see the file is renamed now DEF. So let's move it to the directory 1. So the command would be mv, the file you want to move. In this case it is def, and we want to move into the directory 1. So here you can see there is no def file now, and let's check in inside the directory 1. Here you can see the def file is there. It also has some options, like it also has the I option, which is interactive, like it before overwriting an existing file, it prompts the user for confirmation. If this option is not specified, mv will silently overwrite the files. It also has a u option, which is update. When moving files from one directory to another, only move files that either don't exist or are newer than the existing corresponding files in the destination directory. And it also has a V option, like verbose option, display informative messages as the move is performed. So you can do the same thing with directories. mv directory 1 to, like we are renaming this directory 1 to directory 5. So here you can see there is no directory 1, now it is renamed to directory 5, and all the contents inside that directory 5 are not going to be affected, they are still there. So let me move some files from that directory to directory 5, and inside that I want the abc file to be there, right here inside my home directory. So I will give I use the dot notation. You, if you have watched all of my videos, all the Linux command line series, you have an idea of what the dot does. Actually, it is a notation for relative path names. So if you didn't watch those videos, please watch those videos, else you will not learn the things, or you will not know how things work inside the terminal. So these videos are advised to be watched in a sequence for a better learning purpose. So now we are going to learn how to delete files. So the command rm is used to delete files. Like we are going to use going to delete this abc file. So the command would be rm and then the file name or the directory name abc. Here you can see we have deleted the abc file. So let's delete the directory 5. So guys, the rm command will not work for directory 5 because it is a directory. So to delete a directory, uh, mm, you have to pass it an option like r, and it will ask you for it will ask for it will prompt you because this directory actually has contents. No, it has only one file. It didn't had some directories. So here you can see there is no other files. Let's create directory 1, directory 2, directory 3, and directory 4. Pass it the p option because there are so many directories we are going to create. So here you can see a new directory is created. So just do directory 1, and all of those directories will be deleted. So that's it. Using this option, you can using the R option, you can delete directories, or there is something another command rm directory, which only work if the directory is empty. So let me create some other directory, directory 1. The new directory is created, so let's go into it. Touch a new file. We are going to copy, move this file 1 from our home directory inside this directory. So mv and file 1 to here you can see this directory now contains a file. So we are going to use rm directory, directory 1. So here you can see, we got an error that directory is not empty. So we can let's delete the directory 1 and file 1. First of all, we can delete this file, and then this directory would be empty, like it will not contain some files. So here you can see there is nothing inside this directory. So now the rm directory command will work for this directory. Here you can see that directory is gone now. So it also has an it also has some option like dash f, which is used, like it will not give you some it will it will not prompt you. It will go and delete things silently, which you can use like or f, or simply f. So it will silently delete the files. And yeah, be careful with rm, because Linux don't have undelete command. Once you delete something with rm, it is gone. Linux assumes you are smart and you know what you are doing. Be particularly careful with build codes. Consider this classic example. Let's say you want to delete just the HTML file in a directory. To do that, you type the command like rm and html. So if you type this, all those command which has html at the end, all those files will be deleted. So before doing that, you can use like ls and use this build code html. So it will show you all the files that ends with html. So let me create some files here. This is actually a build code and file. Here you can see I have created so many files which ends with html. So I am going to ls only these files. Here you can see only the files which ends with .html are printed out to my screen. So you can delete all those files using this build code like rm and then html. So you can see all those files which name end with .html are deleted, and this file had no .html at end, so this is not deleted. So just whenever you use the build code with rm, Test the build code first with ls. This will let you see the files that will be deleted. Then press the up button key to recall the command and replace ls with rm. So that's it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. Let's meet in a new video. Thanks for watching. Bye.